What's good, YouTube? In today's video, I want to talk to y'all about Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. Smith made some comments about Morant, and I want to take my time on today's video and highlight that for you guys. So with that being said, let's get right into this clip. Here's what Stephen A. Smith had to say about Morant. Here's the video.
Now, in the case of Pops, only thing, I'm not throwing any shade on somebody's parent or anything like that. I'm simply trying to highlight and illuminate to Morant the importance of him being a dad. You raised him. You helped get him to this point. Make sure that you don't let anybody get in the way of what he is on the verge of accomplishing. Make sure you do your part to protect him instead of joining in to have a good time like you one of his boys. You're not one of his boys. You're his dad. To his dad, I would say to him, sir, love and respect to you. Love seeing you at the games and what have you. I would remind you, sir, you are his daddy. You are not his boy. And the reality of the situation is that on far too many occasions, remember when there was the altercation in the Staples Center involving Shannon Sharp and stuff like that? The dad ended up in the middle of that. You know, you see his boys. I met some of these brothers, good brothers as far as I'm concerned, love their boy, Ja Morant. My advice to y'all, protect the asset. The fact of the matter is he is the asset. Not only don't get yourself involved in stuff like according to the rumors and the reports emanating out of Indianapolis when there was some laser being pointed at the Pacers players and stuff like that, and we didn't know who that is. That is bad for business. And more importantly, just as important, when you're dealing with Ja Morant, it's your job to protect him, not just to make sure that you conduct yourself appropriately, but you got to make sure you prevent him from doing things stupid that would compromise his stature and his bag. These are all things that are incredibly important. We say this stuff, but we really don't regurgitate it to the degree that it should be regurgitated.
Okay, so that's what Stephen A. Smith had to say. And I'm not going to argue or disagree with anything that he said, but I want to kind of put this in perspective. Ja Morant was raised by both of his parents. He comes from a two-parent household. If anybody's going to call out Morant, then you have to call out his mom as well. But I guarantee, anybody on ESPN or any major sports network is not going to call out his mom. I don't like how Morant is getting a lot of backlash for what Ja Morant did. Ja Morant pressed that live button that day. Ja Morant took himself to the strip club in Denver. Ja Morant is the one that was flashing that gun, and he pressed that live button on his own social media account. So this is all Ja Morant's fault, because if he doesn't go live, we don't have this conversation. We don't see anything, and Ja Morant will be fine right now. But Ja Morant put himself in this position. His parents didn't. So I just disagree with the Morant backlash, because I feel like that's just what the media wants to do. Let's blame the black father figure, because if his dad wasn't around, they would be saying that that's the reason why Ja Morant is acting out, because he doesn't have a father figure. So I disagree with the Morant backlash. There is a lot to say about Morant. I just feel like for the sake of this video, I want to just highlight how Ja Morant came from a two-parent household. So if you're going to criticize Morant, you got to criticize his mom as well. So just because we see Morant at the games, that does not mean that Morant is a bad father. We can't let this perception become our reality. We don't know how Morant is. Morant can be a very stern father. We don't see Ja Morant doing this type of stuff when he's at his home game. So maybe Morant is a very hands-on dad, and he keeps his boys in line. You know how kids are, man. Ja Morant is on the road, parents not around. He's going to act out. He's going to do stuff like that. He wouldn't have never done this at a home game. So yeah, man, I just disagree with the backlash that Morant is currently getting, because this is all Ja Morant's fault, man. We don't see his peers around the same age doing what Ja Morant is doing. So let's just keep the finger pointed at Ja Morant and nobody else, man. You can't blame his peers, because his peers wasn't even the ones who recorded him, like D'Angelo Russell recorded Nick Young. It wasn't that type of situation. This was Ja Morant himself pressing the live button, wanted to show the gun. He didn't even have to do that, but he did it. And he was with butt-naked strippers in the background. So again, man, all Ja Morant's fault. And as you can see, they had alcohol in the background as well. So, and that's all I gotta say for y'all in today's video, man. Smash that like button for me if you made it this far in the video. I appreciate y'all. And don't forget to leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear y'all thoughts on this. Salute, and I'll catch you guys on the next video, man. And we out.